So first I'd like to apologize for my recent absence on YouTube, but there are some things we just can't control in our lives. But I'm pleased to say they haven't found me yet, so for the moment I'm fine, and can continue making YouTube videos. At this point I'm sure everyone's heard of TED. You know, these live events when people get up on stage, talk about something you probably don't care about, and then get down again. But they can be interesting at times.
And that same sense of childlike play and innocence that we know from Albert Einstein, I can sense it in this room today.
But what could be even more entertaining is when they let a social justice warrior on stage, and it often leads to unintentional comedy, which is arguably more funny than intentional comedy. So let's get those rubber gloves on again, as we take a look at the video in question.
I have this folder on my computer desktop called Death Threats. It's sad to say that this can be par for the course when you're a woman with an opinion on the internet, especially a feminist opinion. The folder name might sound a little, terrifying.
Not really. I have a folder called Neutral Milk Hotel. Maybe you should listen to it sometime.
I love you, Jesus Christ.
But I think it's important to call things what they actually are.
I think that actually may be a Ben Garrison quote.
There's this thing that we used to call misogyny or sexism that we now call misogynist trolling whenever it happens on the internet.
You want it to be called misogyny, but you call it misogynistic trolling. So surely misogynist trolling is still misogyny, but the term trolling added on implies intent? I mean, there's a thing called the dictionary where you can define words. If something can be described correctly as misogynistic, then it clearly is misogynistic. So the term misogynistic trolling is bad because it describes the intent behind what was being said? I don't really think you thought this one through clearly.
Trolling is a storied internet tradition. The modus operandi? To pretend to hold a particular point of view with the sole or primary purpose of creating chaos in a community. And because trolls are mainly there to provoke, just for the sake of provocation.
You're technically wrong there. Trolls mainly do it for the reaction. When someone reacts in a way that completely disregards Godwin's law, it can be pretty funny. They provoke, but they have reason behind it.
The troll fighting strategy has always been to ignore them. Don't feed the trolls, we say.
And for good reason too. You see, trolls have a very short attention span. They troll because your reaction is entertaining, and if you don't react to them, they move on to another person who will react to them.
When we call a spouter of vile misogyny a troll, what are we really saying? We're saying, don't take it seriously, ignore it.
Not in that tone. They're saying ignore it because you don't want to entertain the trolls. You don't want to give them what they want. And since you can't debate your point with them, the only thing you can do is just block them. I mean, the majority of trolls are tech savvy enough to understand what a proxy is, and also never use their real information online. So as they say, the only winning move is not to play.
Tell me why I shouldn't take these kinds of things seriously. These have all been directed at either me or women I know through my organization, Women in Toronto Politics.
Because they're anonymous things said on the internet by people you'll never meet in real life. Is that good enough for you? I mean, people may still hold these things in their mind even if they're not saying it on the internet. It's the same reason I oppose hate speech laws.
Many of these things sound a lot like the misogyny a woman might face in the workplace, in her home, on the street. Do we tell women not to take a workplace sexual harasser seriously? What about a woman whose work takes place on the internet? Can she just ignore it?
Is that a rhetorical question? Because I'm pretty sure you can ignore things on the internet, unless you're implying women are cursed with the inability to ignore things being sent to them on the internet. And even if that was the case, there's a thing called the block button.
Should rape threats be a rite of passage for women with something to say on the internet? And the goal of many of these alleged trolls isn't just to provoke people, it's to shut women up.
What? That's the complete opposite of what trolls want people to do on the internet. Trolls want you to talk. Trolls want you to shake your fist in disgust.
And by not engaging them, we're giving them exactly what they want.
I'm finding it pretty difficult to believe that you believe that trolls don't want you engaging with them. By all means, point me at a troll who feeds off people who don't respond to him. People who block him without a mention. What reason would there be for him to troll you in the first place? It's completely illogical.
There's something else that really bothers me about the use of the word troll to describe garden variety misogyny. It suggests that this is an internet problem rather than a society problem, one that's been around in countless cultures over countless centuries. Why qualify it with a word like trolling when really it's misogyny?
But if it's misogyny, then it's misogyny. But if there's intent to annoy you behind it, then it's trolling. How do you not understand these basic concepts? If someone says something that's racist, for example, the thing they're saying is still racist, but if they're doing it with the intent to annoy someone, then they're trolling. How do you... Fuck me.
And it's hideous.
Just think about this for a second. She's going up in front of a crowd of people to talk about something she knows nothing about. What is...
I'm going to tell you a story today about hatred of women on the internet.
Can you guess who it is? Spoiler, it's Anita Sarkeesian.
Last summer, misogynists were engaged in a virulent hate campaign against Anita Sarkeesian, a feminist media critic who was crowdfunding a video series to look at how women are represented in video games. They besieged her YouTube and Kickstarter pages with misogynist and anti-Semitic comments, and anti-Semitic comments, and anti-Semitic comments. And worst of all, one man in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, built a video game inviting players to click on a close-up photo of Anita's face and watch bruises and contusions appear until she was basically a bloody pulp. You may not want to look at this next slide. Oh, there we go. I mean, what is it about the internet that encouraged this guy to publish this game and to put that out there?
Well, he did kind of explain why he made the game in the intro, but, you know, it doesn't exist if you don't mention it.
Finally, at least so far, the internet has largely been a consequence-free zone. Law enforcement's use of the internet...
Oh, Jesus Christ, no, please, no.
I'm also talking about a lack of social consequences, like maybe facing a torrent of criticism for your garbage behavior.
You know, feeding the trolls is gonna stop them from, trolling. Trolls don't want people to go around with their anuses clenched and their fists in the air over something completely arbitrary. Trolls really want people to stay perfectly calm over things. They want people to keep their composure. That's what trolls really want.
A dominant wisdom that says don't feed the trolls means that many misogynists and other bigots never have to face their critics.
The fuck is wrong with you? You want to see trolls that are attacking you?
Because their critics are encouraged to shut up.
Okay, I'm done. I'm legitimately done. I cannot find words to describe how stupid this is. This is dumb on so many different levels. What she's saying is so dumb. Jesus Christ. Why?
Not only does this mean that they can continue their behavior with impunity, but it gives them the impression that their views are popular.
No, quite the contrary. That's why trolls say the things they say. They know people will get angry over them because they know they're unpopular opinions. Have you taken just a few seconds of your time to, think about what trolls are doing and why they're doing it? Fucking.
This is one thing we internet users have the power to change.
What, you have the power to feed trolls even more? Is that what you're suggesting? Is that the power to the internet users? Let's go feed those trolls some more and entertain them at our own expense?
And in the case of the beat-up Anita Sarkeesian game, it was one thing I couldn't allow to stand.
So what did you do to confront this evil man called Ben Spur? What did you do to stop him?
I confronted him with this tweet. The tweet intentionally drew a parallel between his online and offline selves by asking if the game represented his actions IRL, or in real life, if you don't use the internet as much as I do.
What will that solve? Asking a question that he technically already answered in the description. How is that confronting him?
In another tweet, I suggested employers might just find his game objectionable and notified the Twitter account of his local newspaper.
So from a trolling point of view, you're just feeding him even more, you're giving him more attention, and on top of that, you're expecting people to applaud the fact that you've done absolutely nothing to actually confront him. Do you have, someone to go around to, tell you to continue circulating that blood around your body every 20 minutes or something? Because I'm pretty sure you're the type of person who would forget to.
When I documented the confrontation and Bendelin's response the next morning, the post spread like wildfire, drawing thousands more into the discussion.
What, that's the height of your achievement, having your post recognized by a news article?
Now, thanks to the internet, misogyny's targets are diffuse, and its expressions are time-stamped. There are websites like Fat, Ugly, or Slutty that invite internet users to submit derogatory comments made at women gamers.
And yeah, you have it. There's the height of their achievements. The fruit of their labor. Websites and Twitter accounts that repost sexist things said to other people. Yes, I can see why trolls are shaking in their boots over your presence. You know, highlighting them and giving them attention is exactly what they hate. I think I need an abrupt video end right now. Because
2070, Israel straight up ripped off the map. Bye! Bye-bye! Bye!
An anti-Semitic comment.